Shocked when Jay said the line in Picasso Baby? Yes, because we've talked about that. We have a history that supersedes music, and we know how this business works. We sit back and we laugh at those rumors. We laugh at that. I think he began to feel the pressure because people were saying my age, the age thing. She was 15, 14. She was 15, 14. And after a while, that gets to a person. The Jay I know, the Sean I know, never comes out of character.
Produce the master recordings, Mr. Carter. It's the L99 for real. She ain't no.
For years, Rymir Satterthwaite has maintained that Jay-Z is his father, just for the truth, not for money or influence. The battle for answers is now intensifying after over 10 years of being disregarded, barred from court, and perhaps even intimidated. Additionally, Jay-Z may have to confront what he has been avoiding for a long time. Let us start at the very beginning. According to Rymir, his mother Wanda became pregnant with him when she was just 15 or 16 years old. Rymir is the eldest of Wanda's 2 kids. Additionally, she consistently implied that the man rearing him was not his biological father. When he was around 8 years old, she told him the truth. His father was a well-known and influential man by the name of Jay-Z.
At first, you offered him bread, like, and everything, but his aunt, this is like his caretaker, didn't like approve of it. She said, "No, Jay-Z got a lien on her house, all type of shit that was going on." Yeah, the lady put up paperwork and everything with his name on it and all that. I mean, but young boy's so thorough though. He just want a dad. He not trying to get no money. He not trying to do none of that. I mean, that's why. So I told him when he called me 2 years ago, I said, "Listen, I don't want to be the one to tell your story because they're gonna think I'm trying to catch rep off of it. So let me let you tell your story somewhere else first. I mean, then I could talk about it a bit." But he called me like 2 years ago, telling me like, I said, "Oh, young boy." He's like, "I just want a dad. I don't want no money. I'm already 18. I think he was like 20 something at the time." But something happened to him, and I was like, "Yo, that sounds kind of weird." He said he was coming out from work, going to work, and it was a gun in his car. Like when he opened the door, he seen the gun. He said he went to go call his man, like, "Yo, did you leave a gun in my car?" His man's like, "No." He said, "Why you on the phone talking to his man?" The cops pull up and lock him up. He said, he's telling the cops, "No, that's not my guns." Like, so he went in the building he was in, and they seen somebody pulled up and put the guns in his car.
Oh.
And pulled off. I said, "Bro," I don't know nobody in the hood that got guns to just waste like that to do that. I don't know what. He's like, "Yeah, so like Jay-Z had a gag order against him, like trying to get a gag order and trying to." If my thing is, if this is not my son, I'll just take a test, get over with.
Yeah.
The fact that you dodged it and whatever, to me, I don't know. I think his mom was underage or something when he was born, so I think that's probably. Yeah, I think that's probably part of it.
Yeah.
But like I said again, it's not the same as now.
But is the mom still alive?
No, she died.
Huh.
She was 15 when she had him.
Oh. How old was Jay?
Like 20 something, I guess.
Oh.
Like 20, probably early 20, like 20.
Wanda claims that she first met Jay at his aunt's Brooklyn Projects apartment in 1992. They connected and tried protection, but it did not work. She never saw Jay again after that. No method to contact him, no calls. Years went by. Wanda's condition deteriorated. Lily Coley, Rymir's godmother and legal guardian, took possession of him after she was unable to care for him any longer.
Rape has a statute of limitations?
Yeah, everything has statute of limitations except for murder. It's like probably 7 years, but he can't even get locked up for it at all. That's why the girl can't file no charges against him, because it's a statute of limitation. You know what I'm saying? And he said, "Yo, man, my man is Jay-Z's son. He want to talk to you." Like, I said, mind you, the first thing I thought, like, this nigga lying. I said, "All right, well, I'll talk to him, but young boy the chef." So I talked to him. I told him, I said, "Listen, young man, I don't want you to do the video with me because it's gonna look like I fished you out. And I'm trying to do a video with you because you Jay-Z's son. I'm trying to hate and all that." And I said, plus it's gonna be a lot of backlash on you. People gonna say they're not gonna believe you and all that. So I don't know if you wanna do it with me first. I could have easily get the money off of him and all that shit. And I said, I ain't gonna even talk about this shit until you talk about it first. So when I see he talked about it, that's the only reason I talked about it. But he said a lot of stuff that I still ain't said yet. That's unbelievable. But they anytime a person make you sign a gag order, all that type of shit, that means you really must believe that's your son. Because if you're not my son, I know you ain't my son, nigga. You're not my son, bro. I'm not making you sign no gag.
Wait, he made his son, or he made the baby mom sign a gag order?
The aunt. I think the mom is like maybe dead or something. So it's the aunt that got custody of him, and they offered him money. They offered him money.
How'd the mom die?
I forgot. I don't know if he told me that, but I know they offered the young boy aunt money, but he said my aunt, she already had a couple of dollars, and she's like, "No, they ain't." I said, bro, if he offered me any millions, I'm taking it. My dad, he gave me some millions, I'm done, that's it. But the nigga not offer you no millions if they're not your son. Especially not that nigga. That nigga, he might offer you 5,000, like, yeah, you know, millions. I said, bro, you ain't take that. But you know, his aunt had custody of him, like so she turned it down.
At that point, they began pursuing the truth through legal means. However, Jay-Z and his legal team allegedly went to great lengths to thwart the lawsuit, rather than simply consenting to a basic DNA test. With Lily's assistance, Rymir filed a paternity claim in 2015. As a paralegal, she was skilled at navigating the legal system, but Jay's team put up a fierce fight, and in dubious ways, Lily claims that when Wanda was in the hospital recovering from a coma, Jay's attorney deceived her into signing legal documents. Lily's name was taken out of the case in these documents, which was not agreed upon. The case was dismissed as a result of such motion. Rymir was not finished, nevertheless.
Do you believe the guy that was really Jay-Z's son?
I mean, only reason I believe it because I know Jay-Z's smart and he got a lot of money, and if it wasn't, he wouldn't even acknowledge it. I mean, but plus, he took the ancestry test, and the people, his family popped up on the shit. You know, you take that shit, anybody that take it, they pop up with it. I mean, so I was like, I mean, mind you, I mean, my thing is this, like, I see the people that went to that boy island, the Epstein Island with the young underage girls. And I'm like, well, what y'all go to the island for? How do you even know these people? So they all the people are diabolical people in the same circle, man. I wouldn't even know those kind of people because I would still have my same friends from before. We don't do that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? You mean I can't see me wanting a girl that's underage when I'm fucking old. You know what I'm saying? What you want? Like, I mean, I just don't. Not saying this. I mean, my thing is this: and you're a celebrity, you should know better. But once you see it, you're gonna be around that shit. Mind you, got power, you got money. You can get a girl that's older that look young. I mean, but my thing is when you start messing with kids, man, it's like kids innocent. Kids the most purest thing on earth. I mean, so like kids, you're supposed to give them game, supposed to tell them what how the pitfalls of life and how, I mean, you supposed to like that shit to me, like something wrong with you. I mean, because you know what I mean, that's something wrong with you. Because I mean, as you age, it's automatically that you want people that's older because y'all got stuff in common. Y'all know about the same things. So what would I talk about to a girl that's 19, 18, any of that? Like, what the fuck am I saying? What are we gonna talk about? Nickelodeon? You know what I mean? Like, what? I mean, I got a daughter that's old. Like, what I'm gonna talk about this? I mean, I can understand you have a girl because a man could be 50 and a girl could be 28. I mean, because sometimes girls are more mature than men. But when you start talking about underage and close to this 20 and 19, they just get you.
According to a 2018 Sun story, Rymir submitted fresh paperwork claiming that Jay-Z has been evading a paternity test for more than 8 years by leveraging his wealth, notoriety, and legal influence. It gets stranger still. Rymir's biological father had previously been found, the court insisted. However, to the amazement of reporters, his father was not named on his birth certificate. Even more startling were the court filings that showed members of Rymir's own legal team were surreptitiously collaborating behind the scenes with Jay-Z's attorneys. In addition to evading a DNA test, Jay apparently got systemic assistance in doing so.
What I do know that I have listened to actual commentary from his godmother, Lily, who sat with a friend of mine, Liz Croakey. I was there, I was present, I heard it come out of her mouth. Wanda was a minor when she got pregnant with Rymir. And like Wanda always said, he picked her up in Philly, but he took her to New York across state lines to bed her while she was allegedly underage. Even though Lily was present when Rymir was born. She was very clear on the fact that Wanda was a minor when she was pregnant with Rymir, who was born a year before my son Giovanni. He came 92. That means she got knocked up in 91. He was well into his 20s by that time. Well into his 20s. Allegedly taking teenage girls over state line. He got unlucky. That condom broke. Poor guy. Or maybe that was just karma. Maybe God made sure that happened for a moment like right now. Disgusting. Don't nobody want to talk about the other kids that everybody denies don't exist and whatever.
Due to legal errors and individuals working against me, I have been denied the opportunity for a fair hearing, Rymir told The Sunday. Just prove it by taking the exam if Jay-Z claims that I am not his son. Jay, however, said nothing. Z's side continued to file papers and bring in lawyers rather than respond to the question. Recently, however, things have changed. Jay-Z was now required to reply to the paternity claim after a judge ultimately decided that the case could proceed. The law is clear in New Jersey. A guy is assumed to be the father if he declines to take a paternity test. Therefore, Jay-Z is currently legally assumed to be Rymir's father. Why didn't Jay-Z just quit years ago and take the test? It does not stack up when people claim that it is about money. At 32, Rymir is far too old to be receiving child support. Others claim that Jay is attempting to preserve his reputation as a devoted family guy in the wake of the Beyoncé cheating scandal. However, the true cause may be more sinister.
When you feel someone coming out saying, hey, Jay-Z's my father, what does that person want from a hoe if he's saying he does not care?
To
You
prove
think
that his mother wasn't a liar, because that's what they said his entire life while she was alive. Denying him makes her a liar. That woman was on the phone with the judge who was harassing her, telling her, demanding that she stop filing for paternity when she gave way and died. His mama died on the phone. Trying to get proper acknowledgement to him. If your mama died like that, would you just sit around and let people keep calling her a liar? That's how your mama died, with a judge yelling at her. And turns out now, all of these judges were bought off and paid off, and they're going to be looking at sanctions and probably charges. Because what they did was illegal.
There may be significant ethical and legal issues if Jay did allegedly conceive Wanda while she was just 15 or 16, and he was many years older. He may have been avoiding this for a long time for this reason. This circumstance only serves to intensify the long-running rumors that Jay has been having affairs with minors.
Shocked when Jay said the line in Picasso Baby, yes, because we've talked about that. We have a history that supersedes music, and we know how this business works. We sit back and we laugh at those rumors. We laugh at that. I think he began to feel the pressure because people were saying my age, the age thing. She was 15, 14. She was 15, 14. And after a while, that gets to a person. The Jay I know, the Sean I know, never comes out of character.
Produce the master recordings, Mr. Carter. It's the L99 for real. She ain't know no better.
Tell me about your audition with Jay-Z. Tell me what he said to you.
A really good audition.
And what did he say to you? He said something to you.
Oh yes, he said, we don't sing songs here, we sing artists. And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, and we're interested. And there was this sudden feel of relief.
But then he said something about a window and a door or something.
Oh, then he said, he did it one more.
I did a lot of homework on you, this lady.
He said, there are 2 ways to leave here, either through the door with the Jill sign or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor.
Rihanna was trafficked to Def Jam.
She was the innocent baby when she came over here. And look
She
at
was
her now.
14 going on 15 years old. Flown over without parental supervision in a private plane by a man who was supposed to be a producer who auditioned her at 3 a.m. in the morning in a hotel room. Auditioning at 3 a.m. in the morning, a 14-year-old girl. She was flown to another country. She was taken to Def Jam headquarters. She was left in a conference room alone with Sean Carter for nearly 6 hours alone. with no parental supervision. Her father collected a $500,000 check. She has the fastest inked deal in Def Jam history.
But hold on, things get worse. Things began to feel risky around the time Rymir filed that second complaint. Rymir was in a parking lot close to his home one evening in September with a few other folks. Only his automobile was fired up out of all the others there. They think that was not random, Lily explains. It has something to do with the case. Furthermore, according to Lily, strangers began visiting her home. At 4 in the morning, people were knocking on her door and driving on her yard. This all began around the time they submitted their most recent court filings. This is bigger than Jay-Z, she remarked. It is about the system suppressing the truth and shielding the powerful. However, Rymir must be worried about what would happen to those who refuse to give Jay-Z what they desire, similar to Aaliyah.
That takes me to when you speak on Aaliyah. People really was honed in when you spoke on Dame Dash, Aaliyah, and you're speaking on something where you're saying, I wish that situation would be investigated further.
No, to be investigated. Period.
Period.
It was never investigated. Hype was never questioned. Lenny Kravitz made a statement, and it was never publicized. She was unconscious. She didn't choose to get on that plane. There were phone calls made. There are witnesses who signed NDAs. Why would you need to sign a non-disclosure agreement about a plane crash and what happened leading up to it? Please, someone answer that.
Do you feel like
Why the fuck would you need to sign? A nigga don't ask about a plane crash if it was accidental.
Do you feel like...
Riddle me that. Riddle me that. Work with me here in this moment.
And I'm gonna ask you.
A plane crash should be accidental.
Should be.
Why would any testimony about what happened leading up to it need to be covered under a non-disclosure agreement if there wasn't foul play?
Now, mind you, September 11th happened a week later. 9/11 happened a week later. Do you think that took away from it?
Once again, there are people who did short sales on their stocks right after that, made a lot of fucking money, including Sean Carter. Now I'm going to ask you, why would non-disclosure agreements need to be signed for an accident?
Hey.
There were over 25 non-disclosure agreements cashed out and recorded regarding the death of that beautiful girl and every other human being that died on that plane with her.
Sneaky and real, like, see, but this is what Jay-Z know how to do. He know how to not say nothing and make you look crazy because like, he's not gonna say nothing. So you give you a chance to assume, man, it's the other person crazy and lying, like, I mean. So, but see, me, I don't worry about the image. He got to worry about the image. I don't give a fuck about worrying about no image. I mean, whatever you think about me, I don't care. Like, I honestly don't care. Like, I mean, I care about certain people, care how they look at me, like certain people I might respect, but the internet world is fake to me. That shit is fake. I mean, these people on the internet, if you got enough time to type on something about me, that mean you watch what I'm doing. I mean, what are you doing with yourself? You watching me and I'm getting paid for you watching me, thank you. So you got a right to say whatever you want to say, but that shit ain't real. I mean, it's not real. I mean, because you got to remember, back in the day, on my time, you had to go outside to get a girl. You had to go outside. These niggas these days don't go outside to do nothing. They just turn it on and talk shit. I mean, you can't let it affect you because, I mean, even look at the show Catfish. Shit like that didn't exist when I was young. Like, it's not a thing that could even happen. Like, so like this world right now is not made for niggas like me because we don't understand it. I mean, everything that's right is wrong now. Everything that's right is wrong.
You had a record, No, right? That you wanted to get Jay-Z on?
Yeah, but he said he was going. He told me he was going to get on it. He told me, hey, he about getting on it. But he must have sat there and thought about it and said, man, I'm not getting on that shit, man. This nigga might get big. And you got to think about State Property CDs. Not only was he not on no song, like, he had put out a CD at the same time as our song came out. Mind you, Sparks had a song, right? Trying to get Jay-Z to clear the hook. Jay-Z voice was on the hook. He wouldn't clear it. But he cleared Cassidy Jones.
What was his excuse?
You don't got to give you no excuse. The fact that you ain't do it, I don't even need an excuse. You ain't do it.
Now, Lily and Rymir are advocating for the Pro-C legal abuse legislation, which would empower common people to resist when the wealthy use the legal system to oppress them. This has nothing to do with money or even Jay-Z anymore, Lily stated. This is about how the system made this possible and endangered our lives. Then something changed. Rymir reacted after Jay-Z's name appeared in a recent lawsuit against Diddy that was linked to grave claims involving children. Jay just issued a statement stating that he supports honorable living and child protection. However, Rymir retorted, "Take the test if you genuinely believe in protecting children. Tell the truth."
Watching this shit, be like, you make all these assumptions. You making like, oh, I'm crazy and we running and we chasing. I'm not chasing. No, I'm not chasing.
He did until he got married to have kids. Because there's a lot of people that are just super fans and they just can't see past the glitz and the glam and all of it. Jay-Z had a very fucked up past. He was a drug dealer. They don't tell him what else he got into, that we don't know about. And it is not like out of the ordinary for a drug dealer to hit a few women. Jay-Z waited until he got married before God had kids. Really?
Right. They can't look past it. They so stuck.
They dumb. Like, they just dumb.
But they come to me and be like, hey, yo, you want his money. You chasing him for his money. You want the 15 minutes of fame.
He was. The fucking ain't jealousy, too. I've chased my motherfucking daddy for money, and that's your goddamn daddy. So fucking what? The whole facade of him perfect, I'm genius, I'm smarter than everybody, I'm the world's best dad. We still, like I said, we ain't seen the sun.
Yeah, the kids, they just don't got it. Even the folks just don't got it. Like,
you think most people don't take care of the kids because they don't got it, or is it because the mother alienates them?
But most I say it's because they don't got it. And it's kind of embarrassing. A lot of people come out of home from jail, they can barely take care of themselves, things like that. There's some people because of the mom. It's probably, but I think most of it's because you don't got it.
But not having it, you don't have money, but you have time.
But listen to this though, Black.
Right? You can still spend time with your child.
But the time you got, if you don't got no money, the time you got, you trying to get some money.
Yeah, and then the mother may not let you come around if you don't bring some money to her, because she's been paying the whole time. Yeah, it's messy.
Take all the guys, right, that don't have it, that got kids, right? Even if the mom is a dickhead, right? But they got $1 billion now. They're gonna take care of the kids.
Yeah.
Automatically, they're gonna stunt. Oh, stunt over here. Because that's how human nature go. But some people, they above your thinking. Like, the thing, I can't figure that shit out. Like, I can't. Because I don't claim to be a super best dad and no shit like that. But like, if I had $1 billion, any kid I got would never have to worry about money.
Yeah.
Even if I don't see him, he goes some money. But so like, that's the thing people don't understand. Like, we gotta lean against this lady's house and all that type of shit. Like, what the fuck? It's like by all means, keep your image clean.
Yeah.
Instead of real life, instead of just being thorough in real life, it's like, keep your image clean.
Nicki Minaj has made shocking allegations of her own, while Jay-Z handles his ongoing paternity issue. She recently claimed on social media that Jay-Z owes her between $100 million and $200 million because of her ownership position in title.
It's the other Carter that owes you $100 million, Nicki. So let me give you guys a summary of everything that went on the internet yesterday, at least from the perspective of how I saw it. Now, Cardi B had gained everybody's attention when she just tweeted this and said, shut the F up. Then she said, go to dinner, go shopping, go to the park, get off the internet, enough. She then followed it up and said, enjoy these looks and day, and ignore the board. Love y'all. Now, everybody was speculating that this was toward Nicki Minaj, simply because Nicki Minaj was not only tweeting, but she was also posting stuff on her IG. Now, over on her IG, she had reposted this about Jay-Z from 50 Cent. And in the caption, she says, oh, is this why they're trending the other day? I don't know. I hope all is well. To God be the glory. And then she posted her tweet over here, and you can pause to read it if you already haven't. But she goes on to say, so let me get this straight. Your so-called savior Jay-Z, as a Hispanic CEO, was pardoned by Donald Trump Then she says, interesting. So does this mean that Desiree, her name is Desiree, isn't a Democrat? Black people, I thought y'all hate Trump supporters. Wait, did Jay-Z ever campaign for Kamala? Then she goes on to question Jay-Z's political affiliation. I want to reiterate again, her boss got a pardon. I don't want to get this lost in history, but her boss did get a pardon. Now, when you switched over to Twitter, she continues this rant and says that we've calculated over 100 to 200 million so far. I'm assuming of money that she believes Jay-Z owes her. She said, Jay-Z, call me to settle this karmic debt. It's only collecting more interest. You're still in my top 5 though. Let's get it. After that tweet, she then proceeded to say that Jay-Z and Desiree, who is the CEO of Rock Nation, had ruined hip-hop, football, basketball, touring, Instagram and Twitter, and then she says the jig is up. Now, this is when the internet started to put 2 and 2 together and say, maybe she's talking to the wrong Carter, because about 4 years ago, Lil Wayne had sold her and Drake's masters to Universal Music Group for about $100 million. And then people started to ask her like, hey, didn't your boss get a pardon from Trump? Are we talking about the same Carter? I mean, people were legitimately asking questions like, maybe she's talking to the wrong person. And then she started talking about touring. In one of these tweets, she says, I hope the money stolen from my tours was hidden well. I'd hate for it to be money laundering, embezzlement, etc. And then that's when the audience started to realize she might have been confusing Rock Nation with
Jay-Z has not officially addressed Minaj's charges. However, the pressure is evidently increasing now that court filings are piling up and more artists are beginning to voice their opinions. The 54-year-old billionaire magnate is dealing with mounting conflict in the music industry as well as legal action. Insiders are keeping a tight eye on Jay, wondering if he will eventually confront all of this head-on or if someone even closer to him will strike next.